In 1949, George Orwell wrote a book that would change the world. 1984 is a story that is so chilling that it has been keeping people up at night for 75 years. But here's the thing. What if it wasn't just a story? Your grandparents might have called it fiction. Your parents probably thought that it was far-fetched. But today, we're living in a world that's starting to look strangely familiar. Imagine living in a world where telescreens are in every home and every corner, watching your every move and listening to every whisper. Every text you send, every call you make, every website you visit are all watched. Your thoughts, they are monitored, and you can be punished for thinking the wrong thing. And the truth is whatever the people in charge say it is. Then there is the thought police, ready to arrest anyone for even thinking rebellious thoughts. 4 ministries control every aspect of life. The Ministry of Peace wages endless war. The Ministry of Plenty rations everything from food to shoes. The Ministry of Love uses fear and torture to keep everyone in line. And the Ministry of Truth, well, they're busy rewriting history to fit the party's name. This sounds like something out of a dystopian nightmare, right? Well, wake up, because this isn't just fiction anymore. Orwell wasn't just writing a novel. He was sending us a warning from the past, and now that warning is flashing red. As we explore the disturbing similarities between Orwell's dystopia and our world today, keep this in mind. Knowledge is power, and understanding 1984 might be the key to preventing it from becoming our reality. I'll show you how to keep your freedom in a world that's starting to look more like 1984 every day. Chapter 1. The Creep of Totalitarianism. Totalitarianism in 1984 isn't just about an oppressive government. It's a system that penetrates into every aspect of life. The party doesn't just want to control what you do, they want to control what you think, what you feel, and even what you believe is real. Think about the party's slogans. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. This sounds absurd, but they're not so different from what we hear today. In Oceania, the party uses fear, force, and non-stop propaganda to maintain control. They crush economic and civil liberties, manipulate culture, and keep everyone paranoid with constant surveillance. Now you might be thinking, that's nothing like our world. But let's take a closer look. Mass surveillance, check. From CCTV to data collection, we are being watched more than ever. Manipulation of information, check. Just look at how social media algorithms direct a lot of what we can see and hear. If something never shows up on your feed, you might never know about it. Economic control, check. Think about how a handful of corporations dominate the entire industries. The genius and danger of modern totalitarianism is that it doesn't always look like jackboots and secret police. Sometimes it looks like convenience, security, or even freedom. Totalitarian regimes, whether communist or fascist, use fear, force, propaganda, and surveillance to maintain control. These systems aim to crush economic and civil liberties, manipulate culture, and instill widespread paranoia among citizens through constant surveillance. Remember, in Oceania, they didn't build a system overnight. It crept in bit by bit, until one day the citizens woke up and realized their freedom was gone. Chapter 2. The Illusion of Individual Freedom. In 1984, the party proclaimed, "Freedom is slavery." It's a twisted slogan that perfectly captures how totalitarian regimes operate. But here's the thing. Today's world isn't selling us slavery. It's selling us a different kind of illusion. To understand this, let's start with Winston Smith, our reluctant hero from 1984. On the surface, Winston has freedom. He has a job, a place to live, even a time for a drink at the local pub. But it's all a carefully constructed illusion. Every moment of his life is monitored, controlled, and potentially used against him. Now, fast forward to today, we pride ourselves on our freedom. We can choose our jobs, our homes, what to watch, and what to buy. But let's take a closer look. Social media freedom. In 1984, telescreens watched citizens constantly. Today, we voluntarily share our every move on social media. We are not just watched, We love performing for the cameras. Consumer choice. The party in 1984 controls all production. In our world, we have endless products to choose from. But how many of these choices are meaningful? How many of these products do the same small number of mega corporations own? Information access. Winston's job is to alter information at the Ministry of Truth. Today, we have access to more information than ever before, but with algorithms curating our feeds and fake news muddying the waters, are we really more informed? Privacy controls. In Oceania, privacy is not a thing. In our world, we have privacy settings, but our data is still collected, analyzed, and used to influence our behavior, often without our awareness. This does not mean that social media is bad or the products you choose in the supermarket are bad. Don't waste your time on a lot of conspiracies. What I am trying to bring to your attention is the critical thinking of why things are the way they are. A ruling party is only a ruler if there is an educated masses to rule. The more we educate ourselves, the better. The true genius of modern control isn't in taking away our freedom. It's in making us believe we're free while subtly directing our choices. It's not Big Brother watching us through a telescreen. It's us willingly strapping on smartwatches that track our every move and heartbeat. Orwell warned us about external control, but maybe the real danger is the control we've internalized, the invisible chains we don't even realize that we are wearing. So ask yourself, in a world where data is the new oil, where algorithms predict and influence your next move, where convenience often comes at the cost of privacy, how free are you really? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it? Running away from social media and hiding in the forest is not the solution. Chapter 3. Social control through technology. In Oceania, the populace is under constant surveillance, not just collectively, but at an individual level. The telescreens are always watching, always listening. But it's not just the technology. It's the people too. Citizens easily turn against each other and create a climate of fear where any criticism is quickly reported and punished. This mirrors tactics used in real-life totalitarian states where neighbors and even family friends cannot be trusted. Let's look at our world today. Governments are using advanced surveillance technologies to monitor their citizens. Take China's social credit system. It's a form of state control that monitors and evaluates individuals' behavior affecting their social and economic opportunities. Does this sound familiar? It should, because it's not so far from how the party in 1984 controlled its members, rewarding loyalty and punishing dissent. And let's not forget facial recognition technology. In Oceania, the party could always recognize you. Today, AI can pick your face out of a crowd with frightening accuracy. It's a level of surveillance that even Orwell might have found hard to imagine. Unlike in 1984, where the oppression is obvious, our technology often comes wrapped in the guise of convenience and connection. We're not just accepting it, we're embracing it. Chapter 4. The War on Truth and History. In 1984, the most famous ruling party's slogan is, "Who controls the past, controls the future. Who controls the present, controls the past." This quote is central to Big Brother's retention of power. In Oceania, the Records Department of the Ministry of Truth is constantly altering documents to match the party's current version of reality. Winston Smith's job involves erasing people from history and changing past newspapers' articles. It's not just about controlling information, it's about controlling reality itself. This manipulation of truth and history isn't just fiction. In our world, we see echoes of this everywhere. Some governments attempt to rewrite history books, downplaying atrocities or exaggerating their achievements. We can see how colonial history has always been altered. These are not new tactics. They have been around for hundreds of years. Media outlets can present biased or incomplete information, shaping public perceptions of current events. Online misinformation and fake news spread faster than truth, making it harder to know what's real. And the implications are deep. When history is changeable, it becomes harder for people to learn from past mistakes. It's also difficult to hold institutions accountable for past actions when those actions can be erased or rewritten. The very concept of objective truth comes under attack. If the past can be changed, what can we really be sure of? In 1984, the party's ultimate goal is to create a world where nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. We are not there yet, but the tools to create such a world, from deepfake technology to sophisticated propaganda techniques, are more available than ever. The good news is that, unlike in Oceania, we still have access to multiple sources of information. We still have the ability to question, to fact-check, and to remember. In 1984, Winston writes, "Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 makes 4. In our world, freedom might be the ability to seek out truth even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient." Chapter 5. The Alteration of Truth. In 1984, the party's control over truth is absolute and terrifying. At the heart of this control is a concept of double-think, the ability to simultaneously believe two contradictory ideas. It's not enough to simply obey the party. Citizens must truly believe in the party's ever-changing reality. And let's see how this worked. The memory hall in the Ministry of Truth, where our protagonist, Winston Smith, works. Here, inconvenient facts aren't just hidden. They are destroyed. Documents are tossed into memory halls, incinerated and erased from existence. Yesterday's enemy might be today's ally, and all evidence to the contrary vanishes in a puff of smoke. Newspeak. The party is systematically reducing the English language, creating newspeak. Why? Because if you don't have words for concepts like freedom or rebellion, how can you even think about them? It's thought control through language manipulation. The mutability of the past. Whoever controls the past controls the future. Whoever controls the present controls the past. That slogan from the party aren't just words, it's policy. Historical records are constantly rewritten to match the party's current narrative. Crime think and face crime. Thought crime is the act of holding disloyal ideas, while face crime is letting those thoughts show on your face. The pressure to not just act, but to truly believe is constant and overwhelming. In Oceania, the truth isn't what the party says it is today. It's what the party says it has always been, even if that contradicts what they said yesterday. And the truly terrifying part is that by the end of the novel, Winston just doesn't say that 2 + 2 is equal to 5. He sees it and he believes it. This novel isn't just a dystopian fiction. It's a powerful warning about the fragility of truth and the power of manipulation. The implication to this is that the truth becomes subjective. It becomes harder for society to address real problems. People give up on trying to find the truth and end up choosing comfortable lives over uncomfortable truth. Those in positions of authority take advantage of this confusion to avoid accountability. The question shouldn't be whether we are living in 1984, but rather, how can we use Orwell's insights and warning to protect our freedoms in the face of these challenges? If this video got you thinking, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the books that shape our world. Also, check out this video. Stay curious, stay skeptical, stay tuned. Thank you.